I find it really hard to believe that I am the catalyst for all of this. And I think that she continuously disregarded it. And I think he messed up because he was too passive to say anything to her about it and really address it. And it just got to the point where it's just like you file bankruptcy and then what do? Just wait till you file the next one? I don't know. I don't know what their finances look like now, but from the way it made it sound, it's probably a pretty stark situation. Look at his eyes. Something happened. This woman is missing, whether it was him or someone else. And so I called my dad because he's like the only person that I trust with everything in the whole world. And I was just like, I have a problem. I mean, the only thing that I've honestly thought of when I play this scenario over in my head is that maybe they woke up and saw him doing it in their mom. And he was like, fuck. Now I gotta do this too. I don't know. I'm like, why? Because they were like his like little lifeline. Like really hard for me to
When you said, what if something happened, what were you thinking?
Like, what if somebody took her? Like, could he possibly hurt her? And that was like the first time that I think, genuinely considered, did this man hurt his wife? And it was like hard for me to grasp. And I thought about it a lot, and I waited for the night because I wanted to see if she would come home. And it was already pretty late, and I had company, and I was just like, let me just see how this plays out. And my buddy Jim left. I don't know, probably like 9 or 10. Probably it's like the same time he always leaves. And then I couldn't sleep again. It was really bad. And I woke up in the morning and I saw the interview that he had with the newspapers. And he just looked really different to me.
How so?
The light in his eyes is gone. They're like a different color now. It's like he has no soul. I swear to God. I saw it and I was just like, look at his eyes. I saw his mugshot. They're not even the same color. Like when you guys retrieve the pictures that are on my phone, look at his eyes then compared to now. Like, it's the scariest shit I think I've ever seen in my life. It freaked me out. I was like, that's not even the same man that I know. And it was really uncomfortable. But
look at his eyes. She says it wasn't even the same Chris. The light has left his eyes. He never even had a soul. So I doubt that he ever had light in his eyes. He always looked like a sociopath to me. The light left his eyes. Oh, look at his eyes. Let's go ahead and watch that again.
I couldn't sleep again. It was really bad. And I woke up in the morning and I saw the interview that he had with the newspapers. And he just looked really different to me.
How so?
The light in his eyes is gone. They're like a different color now. It's like he has no soul. I swear to God. I saw it and I was just like, look at his eyes. I saw his mugshot. They're not even the same color. Like when you guys retrieve the pictures that are on my phone, look at his eyes then compared to now. Like, it's the scariest shit I think I've ever seen in my life. It freaked me out. I was like, that's not even the same man that I know. And it was really uncomfortable. But anyways, I saw that report in the morning and I was just to the point where I was just like, all right, like, something happened. This woman is missing, whether it was him or someone else. I know like a woman went missing not too long ago in Longmont. Like, I think it was like 2 months ago or something like that. And you guys, not you guys, but somebody up there called off the search on her. I don't think they ever found her. So I was like, I don't know, maybe that's connected. Maybe somebody came and got her. Maybe he did something. I don't know. But I knew like it was a problem. And at this point, I was like, I'm in a very messy situation with this man. And I don't know what to do. And so I called my dad because he's like the only person that I trust with everything in the whole world. And I was just like, I have a problem.
Daddy, I have a problem. I have a problem. And then Dwayne is like, that's me. What's up? Notice her performance just now. I swear to God, it was not even the same man. Weird. The man that you guys picked up, I don't know who he is. The soul left his eyes. FYI, Nichol Chris never had a soul. He didn't have a soul.
Chris never had a soul. Chris never had a soul. Chris never had a soul. Chris never had a soul. Chris never had a soul.
So his eye color was always the same, the color of evil. And she's here saying, oh, it was so scary and it made me so uncomfortable. But now she's getting into the important part. Now she's like, after I saw that interview with Chris, that's when I started to freak out. So that's when I called my dad. And this is where we get Dwayne Kessinger. We're about to speculate on how much Dwayne Kessinger actually knows. And so we're about to see what she told Daddy Kessinger. Let's continue.
And I told him everything, and then I was like, we just discussed it, and it was like, we need to go to cops, definitely, because I figured you guys would find me eventually, but I was like, I feel like they need to speak to me. I feel like I'm a very important person for you guys to communicate with. And so, you know, and again, I wish I'd have done it sooner, but it just kind of took the sequence of events of his lies and all of his bullshit falling apart for me to process that I needed to address the situation.
She just said the sequence of events. She said that she only went to her dad once she saw the sequence of events. It's the sequence of events that she can't remember. There was a specific sequence of events that were supposed to happen. Remember, in the plan that I think that they came up with at the Lazy Dog, and then they ran it by in that 111-minute phone call that they had the night before the murders. Again, she's saying that she needed a full sequence of events to happen before she calls her dad. And that's exactly what she did. And that's almost exactly what Chris also did. Because remember, Chris did not confess to Shanann, Bella, and Cece's murders until Tammy Lee gave him that idea. And then he had to run it by his dad. He made sure to tell his dad the lie, and if his dad believed his lie, then he would go with it. He ended up going with the lie that Tammy Lee put in his brain. Because this man is such an idiot that he cannot even come up with his own lies. That he needed yet another woman, another dominant and strong woman to give him that idea. But before he took that idea, he had to run it by his dad. His dad believed his lie, obviously. How could he not? Chris has been lying to his family since day one. I mean, he's a huge liar. He's a sociopath, in my opinion. And here, Nichol is basically saying the exact same thing.
If everything had gone to plan, I would not have gone to my daddy. But since everything started to go downhill, and then I saw that Chris was on TV and he was flailing and he was looking like an absolute idiot, and he couldn't get his story straight, that is when I went to my dad. Because the sequence of events were unfolding, and that is when I needed to protect myself.
You know what? We need to go to the police. We need to get ahead of this before they come to you. Because if they go to you first, that's gonna look worse on you. So I think the best thing for us to do, Nichol, would be to go to the police right now.
And then here we go. She's saying like, you know what? That's why I didn't want to go to you guys before, because again, I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. But like, you guys would have found me eventually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they would have. They're the police. And you're the mistress. Eventually, of course, the police were gonna find you. So the right thing to do would be to go to the police. But again, here she's saying, you know what? I went to the police once my dad gave me the advice that I should go to the police. And that's when I came to you guys. But honestly, you guys would have found me eventually. Let's continue.
And so, you know, and the time. And so that to me, and another thing he lied to me on, I caught him on Monday night. He was like, oh, it was right after the wedding ring thing. He was talking about, it might have been before, one of the two, but he was like talking about how he like reflected on North Carolina, and he was talking about how he wanted the separation and all this stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you were the one trying to make peace with her, and she's the one who didn't want it. He's like, no, I wanted it. And I was just like, okay. And another thing on Monday night, his breathing was like, oh, it was like his voice would crack sometimes. But it didn't like condemn him for anything like that, because I was like, well, yeah, he's probably stressed the hell out. His family's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
Just like her voice cracks every time that she's lying, which is all the time. His breathing, his voice would crack. She's throwing Chris under the bus. She's telling the police all kinds of little details. Like, you know what? Now, in retrospect, he was very suspicious. His voice would crack. And she's giving them all these little hints and clues that she overlooked, because she's like, I never thought that he would do that to his family, so I just overlooked it. But now that I think about it,
That was really weird. His breathing.
what? And then he told me about the ring? Yeah, I probably should have put it together, but I just didn't, because I just didn't think he was capable of such a thing. And in my opinion, of course she knew he was capable of such a thing, because they planned it together. Because they wanted to be together so desperately. They were obsessed with each other. Obsessed. Madly in lust with each other. They were so desperate to be with one another that it had to happen that Monday morning. Shanann was gone for 5 weeks, which gave Chris and Nichol all of the time that they needed to strengthen their relationship. That relationship grew so strong and the lust was so intense because they were allowed to be together every single day. The fact that Shanann was coming back and that she didn't have any more trips planned meant that Nichol and Chris couldn't hang out anymore. They would not have been able to go out for weeks on end. They wouldn't have been able to go camping and go to the sand dunes and do all the car shows, etc. And so they were desperate. Both of them were desperate. Not just that, but the girls were supposed to start school that week. So it would have made things so much harder for them. Because if the girls went back to school and everything went back to normal and Shanann was back at home and he had to, pretend to be a family man again and own up to his responsibilities around the house, that meant that their relationship was not going to be able to continue in the way that it had been going for the past 6 weeks, where they were together every single minute of every single day. And that is why I believe that it had to happen on August 13th, that Monday. From the research that I've done, the family annihilations happen in August. August is when kids are out of school. Once the kids are in school, it does make things harder. Once the kids go back to school, there are more eyes on the children. If the kids just go missing and they're supposed to be in school, there's gonna be more people reporting the children missing. Where are they? Why aren't they in school? And that is why a lot of family annihilators tend to get rid of their families in August. A really, really weird fact, but this is another one of those annihilations that also happened in August, right before school started. The desperation that they were both feeling at knowing that Shanann was gonna be back, the family life was gonna go back to normal, you're gonna have to take kids to school, Shanann is gonna go back to work, she doesn't have a very long trip planned, so that means that they could not hang out every single day of their lives like they were doing for the past 6 weeks. And that is why they were so desperate. It has to happen now.
We cannot wait another week because I cannot be without you, not a single second.
Let's continue.
So I don't know. So that happened, and then
He never made any admissions to you about anything that he had done.
no,
He never done.
no,
He never done.
no.
Said anything about doing, or at any time, not just in these days, but during your relationship, did he ever say anything about hurting his wife, his children?
Never.
Never. Didn't on the
Never.
didn't on the.
Let her go!
Never.
And his conversations from Monday to Tuesday, did he ever say that somebody did something to them, or did he ever give an excuse to you how this could have happened?
Never.
No, I mean he.
Other
he
than
was,
they just were going to a friend's house.
Yeah, or he was like, yeah, I think she's like with one of her friends. She doesn't want to talk to me, kind of thing. But
So-
other than that, no. I mean, like he told me, like, yeah, she said she was with another man, but I think it was out of spite. Like he never really like held that she was with another dude. Like, he never was like, yeah, she's with some guy. Like, she said it, but I don't think she meant it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of what he was, like, directing towards me. But no, I think that's why I gave him the benefit of the doubt so long. Like, he's always been such a civil, gentle man to me. And he's always been pretty calm and, like, level-headed when he talks about the differences between him and his wife. And I mean, that's a sensitive subject, and he never ever seemed like he was like aggressive about it. I mean, he was always just like chill, and he never talked ill of his children. He was always so bubbly about them, like those were his babies. So
he never talked ill about his children. Those were his babies. Says the lady who literally said that Chris would talk shit about Shanann. She said it earlier in the investigation, that Chris would tell her things. And, oh, the reason we're so broke is because Shanann just buys so many things. I would never, ever force anybody to live in a house that we can't afford. Again, because Chris kept saying these things. And the way she says it too, right? Like, it's so fake. It's so forced. Those were his babies. Let's continue.
When all of this happened, I was just like, what the fuck? And
so that brings me to a question real quick. I mean, I don't think anybody over the last 6 or 8 weeks knows this dude better than you. I really don't. You guys probably spent more time together than anybody. Conversation, whatever, relationship. What do you think? What's the catalyst for this event?
You better tread lightly, motherfucker.
Do you have any? Have you had? And I know it's a hard question, but I want to get it out now. We're here. If there's a thought that you have that might lead us to understand a little bit why he might have done something like this. Like I said, I met Chris on Wednesday, so I don't know Chris, not like you do.
You know, I've thought about this, and sometimes I think to myself, if I wasn't in that man's life, would his family still be alive? And I've thought about this a lot, and I think I could give myself different responses. But in all honesty, I think they might be alive, but not permanently. I do not think that this man just snapped. I don't think that he just met some fucking amazing woman and he was just gonna try to fucking murder his family and think that I was okay with, like, building a relationship with somebody who did something like that. Like, at what fucking point, you know? And not only that, like, I always try to say, you know, like, when we get to a point where we've been together long enough, I would love to meet your children. Like, I never discluded them from anything. Like, I remember coming back from Colorado Springs, and I was like, oh my God, they got the Cheyenne Zoo down here. You gotta take your kids, and like you can feed the giraffes, and they would love it. And like, I always try to like show him cool things. Like, hey man, would your kids like this? Because my nephew would like this. Like, check this out. You know, like I sent him a screenshot of some rainbow unicorn Lucky Charms the other day. I was like, do your daughters know about these? Because I bet these are epic. Like little things like that, where it's like genuinely, like I care. I do, like, despite how messy this is and how I'm sure I'm going to be portrayed in the media and everything, like, I care about, like, his well-being with his children and all of that. And so, for me, like, when I think of what was he going through his head, I find it really hard to believe that I am the catalyst for all of this. I will be willing to say that I think me being in his life accelerated what was inevitably about to happen. But I don't think people just snap. Love does not murder. Hate and resentment murder.
The investigator told her, you know, I don't think there's anybody in this world that knows him better than you do. And then she goes off on another ramble, something that has absolutely nothing to do with it, and starts talking about how much she cared about his kids.
Take him to the Cheyenne Zoo. Oh my God, it's so epic.
I took my nephew. I even took a picture of a rainbow Lucky Charm. My nephew touched a giraffe. Oh, it's so cute. And then again, she's trying to convince the investigator, I really do care. No, I really do care about his children. I really wanted to meet his kids. I do. Once their relationship had gotten past a certain point, that is when she wanted to meet the kids. She didn't want to disclude the children. No. I wanted to meet the children. I told him to take his girls to the zoo. It's so epic. Go touch the giraffes. I did care for his girls. I did. I really did. You believe me, right? I did care about his girls because of the Lucky Charms. Let's watch that again.
When we get to a point where we've been together long enough, I would love to meet your children. Like, I never discluded them from anything. Like, I remember coming back from Colorado Springs, and I was like, oh my God, they got the Cheyenne Zoo down here. You gotta take your kids, and like you can feed the giraffes, and they would love it. And like, I always try to like show him cool things. Like, hey man, would your kids like this? Because my nephew would like this. Like, check this out. You know, like I sent him a screenshot of some rainbow unicorn Lucky Charms the other day. I was like, do your daughters know about these? Because I bet these are epic. Like little things like that, where it's like genuinely, like I care. I do, like, despite how messy this is and how I'm sure I'm going to be portrayed in the media and everything, like, I care about, like, his well-being with his children and all of that. And so, for me, like, when I think of what was he going through his head, I find it really hard to believe that I am the catalyst for all of this. I will be willing to say that I think me being in his life accelerated what was inevitably about to happen. But I don't think people just snap. Love does not murder. Hate and resentment murder. That's the way I look at that. I do not know what is the truth anymore and what's not, and I don't have all of the details, but this is just my opinion, but I'm pretty convinced that woman and him did not get along very well. And the reason they stuck together was, hey, we're going to do kids. And I think they also stuck together because they were in a very bad financial bind. And I think that she continuously disregarded it. And I think he messed up because he was too passive to say anything to her about it and really address it. And it just got to the point where it's just like, you file bankruptcy and then what do? Just wait till you file the next one? I don't know. I don't know what their finances look like now, but from the way it made it sound, it's probably a pretty stark situation. And I don't know if hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt over and over and over again are enough to lead a man to want to take somebody out, but I don't know. I've heard of people committing suicide over that shit before, and I would never justify what he did. I think it's fucking disgusting. He's such a fucking pig, but I try to be like, why? I try to come up with a why, and I really think that he was struggling with her really bad, and not only that, he's got a third child on the way, and I know he was probably just like, I can't fucking afford a third kid. Wants it, but can't afford it, you know? And he always told me he wanted a little boy, you know? He wanted a third child. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it was just something I think they were in a financial situation, and I think she was very non-responsive to him trying to solve problems and get out of the situations that they were in. And I think people just get complacent is what it is. And then, I think he met me, and I think I was a breath of fresh air for him, where it was he could get away and he's you know what, I can be myself. I don't have to worry about money right now. And this girl, I have my shit together. My life is so very in order.
You seem very organized and independent and
always. I do really good at work. I have almost a perfect credit score. I've been saving money for a house. I don't mess around. I mean, I screwed up. This is my one screw up ever, and it's about to be on national news. But
I don't know. Do finances make men murder their families? I have perfect credit. I am such a good employee. I had perfect attendance in elementary school. Chris met her and she was a fresh of breath air. A breath of fresh air. He could be himself around me. I was not the catalyst. There's no way. I didn't do any of this. It wasn't me. But I think eventually, I think he eventually would have just annihilated his family. Agent Kobach upsets me because not once has he called her out on any of her lies. He hasn't challenged her, not once, on any of her inconsistencies. And he just laughs and he chuckles and he's like, and then he makes excuses for her constantly. What is going on here? What is up with Agent Kobach? Challenge her, ask her questions. What do you mean? Like, oh, Nichol, you really don't believe you were the catalyst? 2 months. It took 2 months of hanging out with her every single day for him to then decide that he wanted to get rid of his life and start a new one with her. Let's continue.
But, just very dialed in, and I think it was like a breath of fresh air for him to like be around something like that, because I don't think that he knew that that was like a real thing. And he had told me that like numerous times, like, I didn't know like women like you like existed. And it's just like, all right, like I don't, and when he meant it, it was I didn't know women like you like existed.
Let's go ahead and rewind it just so that we can see that again.
He met me, and I think I was like a breath of fresh air for him, where it was like he could get away and just be like, you know what, I can be myself. I don't have to worry about money right now. Like, you know, and this girl, like, I have my shit together. Like, my life is so, like, very in order.
You seem very organized and independent and dialed
Always.
in.
Like, I do really good at work. I have, like, almost a perfect credit score. I've been saving money for a house. Like, I don't mess around. I mean, I screwed up. This is, like, my one screw up ever, and it's about to be on, like, national news. But, just very dialed in, and I think it was, like, a breath of fresh air for him to, like, be around something like that, because I don't think that he...
We have a mugshot of Nichol Kessinger in an orange jumpsuit as well. Was she getting ready to meet her future soulmate? Who knows? Nichol is trying to make herself seem like this perfect angel. Like, oh, well, I'm so perfect. Look at me. I've never heard a fly. Everything that she said, everything that Chris said, all of this can be verified. It's the fact that she's lying and she continues to lie, knowing that all of this is going to be found out anyway, is what really gets to me, because we are basing this off of Nichol being innocent. And innocent people don't have to lie about their interactions and their connections with people who have been charged of a vicious crime. It's just another one of those behaviors that don't really make sense. Let's continue.
He knew that that was like a real thing, and he had told me that like numerous times. Like, I didn't know like women like you like existed. Oh, like women like you like existed. I was just like, all right, like I don't. And when he meant it, it was just like the way you run your life. And so, because he got married really young, you know, and so to answer your question, I think inevitably it was going to happen.
He wasn't that young. How old was he? Okay, they were married for 6 years, correct? This was in 2018 and he was 33. So he was 27 when he got married. He had been with Shanann for 8 years, so they got together when he was 25 and she was 26. So he wasn't that young. It's not like he got married when he was 19. But we see here Nichol again, just rambling on, talking nonsense. Oh, he was so young when he got married. You know, he didn't even know women like me existed. He didn't even know women liked to camp. He had no idea that women like race cars. I don't believe that she actually had any real interest in race cars. Or who knows, maybe she did. But again, she's making it seem like Chris lived in this alternate world, in this alternate reality. Like he has been living under a rock, like Patrick Starr. I don't know Nichol, but what about her is so amazing that Chris was like, oh, let me get rid of my whole entire family for this woman. I think more than anything, it was the fact that Chris was able to do things with Nichol. They were in the dating phase, very, very early dating phase. They were in the lustful phase. Although I do believe that if this relationship had continued, it wouldn't have lasted. Chris really did, he made a permanent decision for something so temporary, like this relationship with Nichol, that wouldn't have lasted. In my opinion, I don't believe that this relationship would have lasted. Let me know what you all think in the comments if you think that this relationship was something that had potential, because I think the majority of us don't believe that this was a real relationship that was built on love and trust. Let's continue.
I think it just got propelled faster. I mean, I don't understand what he would have achieved with, if he wanted to be with me that bad, what he would have achieved with me by doing what he did. I think his situation at home was way, way deeper than anything him and I ever had, and it led to that. And I don't know what happened in that conversation that they had, but I kind of have a feeling that it wasn't even about her pregnancy or another man or me. I have a feeling it was about the money.
So drilling down.
Again, she does the whole eyeball thing because she is trying to convince herself that, oh, he murdered her because of all the money. All the money situation. It was really just their finances. That's why he snapped and murdered her. Okay, what we see Nichol doing here is trying to take the blame away from her, trying to make herself not the catalyst. And notice how she brought up, oh, it wasn't the baby, it was money. That's the reason. I believe that she was pressuring him so much, she wanted to have his baby, she wanted to be the one to give him a boy, so she gave him no other choice but to murder Shanann. In my opinion, I don't think Nichol wanted to deal with the girls either. I don't think she wanted to deal with any of Chris's past. I think that the anger and all of this pressure really came when Nichol found out that Shanann was pregnant with a boy, because she wanted to be the one to give that experience to Chris. I do believe that the reason he murdered them was because of Nichol. Again, she's trying to play it off. She's trying to say that the reason that Chris annihilated his family was finances. They filed for bankruptcy in 2015, 3 years before the murders. So if Chris was going to annihilate his family because of finances, I think he would have annihilated his family years before he met Nichol. And usually, when family annihilators annihilate their families due to finances, they also annihilate themselves. But this wasn't that. He murdered his family so that he can be with his mistress. So it had nothing to do with finances. And it had all to do with having a new life, having met a new woman, and wanting to keep her happy and keep her off of the ledge. And so the best way to do that would just be to get rid of your whole family. Just get rid of them. Let's continue.
Down, you think money
I
for
think
him
it's-
is the biggest downfall. You guys, I mean, beyond their relationship, really, I don't know that you know too much about the relationship or the particular issues other than monetary issues, financial issues. That sounds like what you guys talked about when you talked about their relationship.
I mean, like, he told me other things, like they really didn't like sleep together too much, stuff like that, but I feel like a lot of husbands and wives don't do that. But it was like, oh, of course you don't. That's why you're coming to me, you know? No, I think I just, like, me being in his life just pushed that forward. I honestly think that there's probably a good possibility that this would have just happened, like, further down the road.
So did you see that before yesterday or Tuesday, or was that just kind of something that you have reflected on and you thought about this now going, man, now that I see that in this guy, or just because of the lifestyle he was living, and if he didn't get removed from it, this was going to happen sooner rather than later, like you said?
You know, if I was to reflect on anything over, like, the past few weeks, besides, like, the stuff in the last few days where you're like, hey, is there, like, any red flags? I would say, like, no. But one thing I did notice one time is we were sitting on my couch and I was telling him, like, my house, I have a really beautiful house. Like, it's set up, like, really nice. But everything I have is, like, from Craigslist or Goodwill. Like, I have pieced it together and it's all, or, like, marked down stuff. And I have pieced it together in a way, like, it's pretty, huh? It's a pretty house, but you would never guess that, like, everything I got is, like, super discount.
Oh, it's pretty, huh? I got everything from Goodwill.
Why does Nichol have to bring up material things? All of her stuff is cheap. Oh, she bought everything at the yard sale, and everything that Shanann owned, oh my god, everything was gold plated. Oh, how dare she? What is the point of this? I'm really curious to see what she's gonna say right now because she's being asked about red flags. Kobach just asked her, okay, so when did you come to this realization that Chris would have eventually annihilated his family? Did you realize that when you were dating him? Is that something that you were reflecting on while you were with him? Like, oh, you know, this guy I'm with, he might annihilate his family. Or did you come to that realization after the fact, in the past 2 days? Because Kobach is trying to get to something here. That was something very interesting to say. So Kobach is trying to get to what she meant. So now we're going to see where she's going to take this question. Let's just see what she says.
And one day we were sitting on my couch and we were just like bullshitting about some stuff, and I was telling him like, oh yeah, you know, like I got this marked down in American Furniture because like the corner was dented, and like I got this one off a guy on Craigslist, and I put it all, and I was like telling him, I was like, I put it all together, and I was like, to me, it was like, material things don't make a home. I was like, it's the energy and the love that you bring to the home. I was like, it's not about what it looks like. I was like, it's about what you like bring to it, like mentally. And he like collapsed in my lap and gave me like the biggest, most genuine hug I think that man has ever given me. And he just laid there and he was just like, you were so different. And I didn't even say anything. I just like put my fingers in his hair and just let him chill there. And I assumed that it had to do with the finances, but it didn't like stress me out. It was just like this relief sigh where he just like dropped into my arms. And I didn't like really think too much of that event, except for that I was like, this was like it was like a really genuine hug, like collapsed in. And I didn't like really think too much of that event, except for that I was like, this was like it was like a really genuine hug, like collapsed into my lap, like just so relieved. And I didn't really think much of it until like I started reading about like their bankruptcy and all this other shit, and I was like, oh. So I think it might have been bigger than he let on, because he never told me about his bankruptcy.
Oh, because he never told me about his bankruptcy.
Sure.
You know, he just told me about his current financials, and he didn't even get that in depth, but I'm assuming they're trash. And so, yeah, I think her spending all that money and not listening to him, and him not standing up for himself in a calm and, you know...
Just elevate.
Yeah.
Last hard question regarding this.
Go ahead.
And then I have just two cursory questions regarding something else, and then I think maybe Tim has a few questions for you. But
I have just two more questions to ask. Go ahead. I read all your comments, and yes, that is the victim card that she's shoving in her face. So it honestly, I feel like that makes things worse because, you know, she's claiming to be all traumatized and whatnot, and yet she's shoving the only resource that she has into her face and her mouth, and she's been whipping that thing all over the place. We even saw the text messages that she sent Kobach asking for help. Oh, please help me, please. Yeah, we just see Nichol doing this same old thing again, shoving things in her face, doing the eyeball thing, so not much has changed. It's the same old thing. Let's continue.
I think what you say about the finances directs directly at his wife. Do you think that goes to the children as well? Because she
put the corner in her eye. Very bizarre behavior from Nichol.
took. Did she treat them like that, like they were gold and they got everything as well that you know of? Or do you think there's a separate issue for why he may have done what he did to his children other than financial?
That part I don't have an answer for. I can't fucking explain that. I don't even think there is an answer. I don't even think there's any sort of like computing up here that could possibly give a rational explanation for why that would have happened. I mean, the only thing that I've honestly thought of when I play this scenario over in my head is that maybe they woke up and saw him doing it in their mom, and he was like, fuck. Now I gotta do this too. I don't.
Let's Let's watch that again.
Or do you think there's a separate issue for why he may have done what he did to his children other than financial?
That part I don't have an answer for. I can't fucking explain that. I don't even think there is an answer. I don't even think there's any sort of like computing up here that could possibly give a rational explanation for why that would have happened. I mean, the only thing that I've honestly thought of when I play this scenario over in my head is that maybe they woke up and saw him doing in their mom, and he was like, fuck. Now I gotta do this too. I don't know. I'm like, why? Because they were like his like little lifeline, you know, he that was everything to him. You know, and I get like those two have problems.
But he had a great relationship, but from what you're accounting is
With his kids.
He loves his children.
Yeah, like
Those kids were his lifeline.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Chris also say that his kids are his lifeline?
I love these girls. I love these girls so much. And this picture right here, Celeste and Bella, those are my life. I helped make those kids. There's nothing in my life that means more to me than these kids. Nothing. Kids, that's your life. That's your lifeline.
Those kids are my lifeline. You know, when you have children, you know, those kids, they're like your lifeline. Like, I feel like she thought about this before. She thought about this. What will you say if they ask you why you think he annihilated his children? The motions. And his kids! I don't know why he would do that to his children. Well, maybe they woke up. They saw that they were doing that to the mom and because she's saying that all of this was financial, right? So then why would he also murder his children? If all of this was financial, then it was purely directed at Shanann. And Nichol says, oh, I don't know, maybe they woke up. I think that she thought about that one before. That was her answer. That was going to be her answer whenever the question came up. What I believe the truth to be is, well, she didn't want to have any stepchildren. She did not want to have anything to do with his past life. She wanted nothing that reminded her of Shanann and that marriage and the life that he had before her. She said that she would never disclude the children. No, that leads me to believe that she wanted to disclude the children, in my opinion. And that is why Chris also annihilated his daughters. Again, notice her theatrics, right? Oh, no way. I can't believe he did that to his kids. Those were his babies. Oh, his lifeline. I don't know how he could have done something like that. I just can't. Oh my God. I almost spilled my coffee. Let's continue.
that part, it's, oh my God, that's the worst part of this whole mess. The worst part of this whole mess.
We won't dwell on it. We don't have to dwell on it. Let me ask you.
We won't dwell on it. No. We won't, right? Okay, good. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Again, we see Kobach here. Oh, we're not going to dwell on the children. Why not? Why not? Why can't we talk about Bella and Cece? Them and Nico are the whole reason we are here. And again, he's not wanting to talk about it. So ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. I read your comments. I saw that Kobach was the one who interrogated the babysitter. Didn't she get drilled?
Anybody else at the house besides those three? Your mom drops you off? Does your mom come in with you? Do you have a cell phone?
I do.
What's your number? You said, sorry, let me back up real quick. Chris, Celeste, and Bella are there? Mm-hmm. Does Chris tell you what he wants you to do? Or tell me what Chris tells you. You said, sorry, let me back up real quick. Shanann was not home. She was somewhere else.
Yes.
Where was she?
Arizona for her work.
And Chris told you that? Do you know if that recorded or was it just live? So Shanann knew you were there too?
Yes, she called me.
Did Chris ever text you?
No.
So Shanann knew you were there because Chris told her?
Yeah.
Or did you tell her?
I think Chris told her.
Okay. So how did Chris leave the house? So did he run you through these instructions? Do you recall what the girls were wearing?
Yes, they were wearing 2 nightgowns.
Okay, tell me how somebody got a picture of the girls that night. Were the kids sleeping?
Yes.
So you did not send that picture to Shanann?
Mm-mm.
Chris must have.
Yes.
Does he wear glasses? Like reading glasses or sunglasses?
Reading glasses.
Do you know who he left with?
No.
Did you see the vehicle or the car that he left in?
No, he told me to go distract the kids while he left so they didn't get upset that he was leaving.
Did you hear a car?
No.
Did he take his own truck or do you think he left with somebody?
I'm not sure because his work truck was parked in front of the house.
What's his work truck look like? Does it have any markings on it?
No.
Does it say the name of the business?
No, it's blank. Because I remember the girls kept pointing it out because they're like, that's my daddy's truck.
He leaves about, you get there at 4:30? What time do you think he leaves?
Probably 4:45 after we've like gone through everything and he orders the pizza for us. And
Where was the pizza from?
Papa John's, I think.
The poor babysitter? Isn't she like a child? I think she was still a minor when she was interrogated. And she didn't even have her parent present. Let's not talk about the reason why Chris annihilated his whole family. Oh, I don't want to cause you any more trauma. Let's continue.
So no, I don't have an explanation. That's the only thing I can plausibly think of is maybe they saw it, but other than that, I don't know what the fuck.
Okay. Who's Charlotte?
Are you asking me who's Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my friends?
Mm-hmm.
She's like a really good friend of mine. Why?
Did you have some conversations with her regarding another boyfriend?
No.
That you might have met on eHarmony? Or did she meet somebody on eHarmony?
No, she's engaged.
Okay.
She's engaged.
So there's some text messages that we got off your phone, obviously. And the only reason I'm asking this is because if he found out maybe you had another boyfriend, you understand my line of questioning, that looked like maybe you had another boyfriend. And I don't know if that's this Jim guy, that maybe you guys were, no, I'm not saying that he's your boyfriend, that when we were interpreting the text messages, that it seemed like he might, this man came to my house, he has a key to my house, that you're saying right now. When I look at that from my perspective, Jim may be another boyfriend for you.
Oh, no. Charlotte is like my oldest friend.
So did you have a conversation with Charlotte about Jim?
I mean, sometimes we talk about him. We're all friends.
Did you guys ever have a conversation about eHarmony?
I mean, possibly. I was on there for a while.
Okay.
But I didn't actually ever go out on any dates with guys from eHarmony. Not one. I talked to a couple guys on there, but I was like, no, I didn't go on any dates.
So the only reason would be another potential reason for him to be upset.
No, he knew about Jim. He's always known that Jim is one of my good friends.
She had just finished lying about one thing, and then she's like, and then you see Kobach ask her, who's Charlotte? And she's like, who are you asking? Oh, wait, are you asking me who Charlotte is? Or who else are you? Is there somebody else here that you're asking that question to? And then he's like, oh, I know that Charlotte is your really good friend. Oh yeah. What about her? Why are you asking me those questions? He threw her off guard here. I don't think Nichol was expecting this at all. She just gave up her cell phone. So she's shocked. She's really surprised that Kobach brought this up. And she's like, wait, hold up. I deleted those text messages. That whole line of questioning just completely threw her off because again, she deleted those text messages. And we know this because she asked Kobach in a text message, how did you get a hold of my text messages? The ones between me and Charlotte? This is her doing damage control. She's trying to figure out how did they get those text messages? Because now we see her freaking out. Because if they were able to get Charlotte's text messages, they might be able to also get Chris's text messages. This is what was the most interesting part to watch here was Nichol's reaction. Let's go ahead and watch it again.
Who's Charlotte?
Are you asking me who's Charlotte? Like one of my friends?
Mm-hmm.
She's like a really good friend of mine. Why?
Did you have some conversations with her regarding another boyfriend?
No.
That you might have met on eHarmony? Or did she meet somebody on eHarmony?
Oh, shit.
No, she's engaged.
Okay.
No, she's engaged.
Okay.
She's engaged.
So there's some text messages that we got off your phone, obviously. And the only reason I'm asking this is because if he found out maybe you had another boyfriend, you understand my line of questioning, that looked like maybe you had another boyfriend. And I don't know if that's this Jim guy, that maybe you guys were, no, I'm not saying that he's your boyfriend, that when we were interpreting the text messages, that it seemed like he might, this man came to my house, he has a key to my house.
Oh, God. You guys are interpreting my text messages. I thought I deleted them all. Oh, fuck.
Nichol is shitting herself. I'm pretty sure everyone in the room can smell it. She is about to pass out.
Jim may be another boyfriend for you.
Oh, no. Charlotte is like my oldest friend.
So did you have a conversation with Charlotte about Jim?
And notice how she looks at her dad.
Charlotte is a good friend of mine, right, Dad? Right? Yeah, you know Charlotte, right? She's a good friend of mine, this Charlotte girl. We've been friends forever, right, Daddy? Yeah. I don't really know what you're talking about, guy.
But yeah, notice that she turns to her dad when she needs help. I will say, though, that this is the most I've seen Kobach press her. If this is something you would even consider press. He pressed the babysitter more than he pressed the mistress. Let's continue.
I mean, possibly. I was on there for a while.
Okay.
But I didn't actually ever go out on any dates with guys from eHarmony. Not one. I talked to a couple guys on there, but I was like, no, I didn't go on any dates.
I've never been on a single date on eHarmony. Actually, I've never even had an eHarmony app. Wait, what is eHarmony? A lot of backtracking from Nichol. She'll say one thing and then she's like, yeah, well, no, I haven't. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe I did. Because again, she doesn't know how much the investigators know. She's just finding out that they have her text messages between her and Charlotte. Now she's freaking out. She's panicked. She has no idea how much the investigators know. Who knows? They probably have the phone calls and all of the text messages between her and Chris. So now she is more quiet, as you can tell, right? Like her demeanor changed. She's a lot more quiet. She's cowering a little bit.
Oh, that's my friend, Charlotte. We've known each other for many, many years.
And before she was all like, yeah, I have no idea why he would do such a thing, yo. We see her demeanor has completely changed. And this is the thing that we see with Nichol. Anytime that she is asked a question that makes her uncomfortable, we see an erratic change in her behavior. They are pretty drastic.
Ha ha ha, yes! Oh my God, I have no idea.
Who's Charlotte?
Who? Wait. My friend, Charlotte? Oh, she's just my friend. Why? Why would you ask such a thing? Oh, I don't know.
So the only reason would be another potential reason for him to be upset.
No, he knew about Jim. He's always known that Jim is one of my good friends, and I lay it out for people at the beginning. Like, I have friends that are male, I have friends that are female. These are my friends. That's what it is. Like, he never to me seemed like jealous of Jim by any means. So no, I'm curious what text you're talking about with Charlotte.
I
talked to that girl so much.
I have 153 pages of text messages, so I can't remember. If I could pull it up, I would, but I don't know where it is.
I thought you guys just got my text.
We got when we asked for everything. For 7 days they give us everything.
Oh, so why did you need to just do that if you just had them?
Because I don't know that they're completely accurate. Again, what they send me is I don't have any way to verify that they're accurate.
Gotcha.
And if you delete a text message, sometimes those are not retained by carriers. They're still on your handset. There's a way to recover them from your phone. But they may not be held. There are certain carriers that don't even keep text messages. And I won't tell you who those people are, but they don't keep them. We can't even get our hands on them because they don't have a database. They don't pay the money. They're stored on your stuff and your stuff only. So that's why we ask for it. And some of those things disappear in 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, unless we ask them to keep them. And sometimes we don't know in time. So that's why we do it too. Okay? So just, it was a question because it also would provide potentially a motive for what Chris did if he found out that you had another boyfriend.
Why would he kill his family?
Well, he wigs out that he finds out that you have a boyfriend.
This was gold. I have to commend Kobach this one time for this one thing he did because he made both Nichol and Dwayne, her dad, shit themselves at the same time. If you noticed, both of their behaviors completely shifted. You saw Nichol
almost become aggressive and a little entitled, like, huh, why did you even need my cell phone then if you already had all my text messages? It's kind of the reaction that I sensed from Nichol here. Kobach told her, we have 153 of your text messages. And notice that before he told her that, Nichol asked, I'm really curious to know which text messages do you have between me and Charlotte? And then Kobach tells her, oh, actually, we have like 153 pages of just text messages. Whoa, hold up. Didn't I just give you my phone though? Why did you even need my cell phone then? And then you see Dwayne as well. He has resumed his hand art. He's also scratching. He's also looking at her like, oh God. I get the sense that she feels betrayed. She's like, what? You took my messages? I don't care what you have to say. Oh, they disappear after 3 days? You know what? I don't care, because you already took my messages without my consent. I don't care. I don't care what you have to say, Kobach. Kevin. I don't care, Kevin. You've betrayed me. Let's watch that again.
I thought you guys just got my text.
We got, when we ask for everything, for 7 days, they give us everything.
Oh, so why did you need to just do that if you just had them?
Because I don't know that they're completely accurate. Again, what they send me is, I don't have any way to verify that they're accurate.
Gotcha.
And if you delete a text message, sometimes those are not retained by carriers. They're still on your handset. There's a way to recover them from your phone, but they may not be held. There are certain carriers that don't even keep text messages. And I won't tell you who those people are, but they don't keep them. We can't even get our hands on them because they don't have a database. They don't pay the money. They're stored on your stuff and your stuff only. So that's why we ask for it. And some of those things disappear in 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, unless we ask them to keep them. And sometimes we don't know in time. So that's why we do it too. Okay? So just, it was a question because it also would provide potentially a motive for what Chris did if he found out that you had another boyfriend.
Why would he kill his family?
Well, he wigs out that he finds out that you have a boyfriend and just loses it altogether. Do you understand?
Why would he kill his family just because I have another boyfriend? Oh, Chris and Jim are very close. They became very close that one Saturday evening. We decided to do activities together. Have you ever played Twister? Oh, it's so much fun. That is all I have for you today. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here, and we are almost done with the Nichol Kessinger series. We have about half an hour left of the video to watch. I love reading your suggestions, so just let me know what you want to see next. Thank you all so much for the love and support that you show on my channel. Thank you all for watching, take care, and I will see you next time.
It's not a Pizza Hut, my friend. It's a Papa John's.